I got all this one. No!
Yeah.
No!
Not so friendly anymore, bitch.
Alright, hey guys, welcome back to a Bad Take Delete podcast. It's the only show where I look straight into your fucking soul.
Oh my god, we can do that now? Let me try. Oh, hello. We can look at the camera now. That's fucking weird. What'd you say? That's weird. I could be like, oh, what is this guy thinking? What is this guy thinking, audience?
I know what you're doing.
Yeah?
I know what you're doing. You don't need it. You really don't need a second burger.
A second one? God damn.
I'm sorry, just trying to be a little
It's okay.
jokester. But welcome back, guys. We got technical advancements. We've advanced.
Okay, so Spiderman-Lotus finally fucking released. Like, it is finally released. Now, we were supposed to watch it last week, for last week's episode, but the director was like, I know I promised everyone. I promised everyone. I know y'all had some watch parties. I never seen distinctly an Instagram post where it's like, my friends and I got drunk leading up to this. Fuck you. I have work tomorrow.
It's weird. I had to get drunk to watch it.
And so a day later, he finally released it. I didn't know it was gonna be fucking 2 hours long. Did you?
No, no one in the right mind would make a 2-hour-long movie about that shit. I mean, what was their budget? Do you know? It was pretty like sizable, but I didn't think it was 2 hours worth.
I think it was 100,000. Let me check.
Okay.
Let me check. 100,000? 112,000. No.
Oh my god.
No. That amount of money is like 40 minutes. Like a tight 40 minutes.
Yeah, that's not a 2-hour movie. I don't know how they. Well, no, I do know how they stretched it out. It's just like I don't know why they would write it to be 2 hours long.
I remember when it first released, I was telling you the night of, I have to download this because they might delete it. But as they're doing the live stream, it just kept going. How long was the pre-credits? Was the director doing something?
Yeah, no, as soon as I realized it was 2 hours, I fucking stopped watching and I went back to it like periodically through the day. I couldn't watch it in a sitting.
Do you want to get into the film first? Do you want to get into the controversy first?
Let's get into the controversy. Let's get into that.
Okay. So, as a preface, it turns out the main actor, the director, and the Goblin guy, just a little Goblin on set.
Wait, in the Goblin?
And the Green Goblin.
Well, you know, with him, it's like,
There were leaked messages from the group chat. One of them, I'm not going to read it verbatim because for obvious reasons. Right here. Honestly, I don't see why people were so upset over me not paying the storyboard artists. This is a fan film, and those N-words, as a preface, you can't say that word. You need to be grateful they're finally getting another good Spider-Man movie. It's like,
wait, what?
From this text message, it's implied that he's not paying the storyboard artists.
What the fuck? How?
With no money.
Really? But like, how do you hire a storyboard artist and not pay them?
It's called exposure, my friend. Have you heard of this? Have you heard this thing? Exposure.
I can't believe that. I can't. But you know for a fucking fact that storyboarding was on the budget whenever they put that Kickstarter out, right?
They had a budget, but I remember seeing that and I was going like, oh, so how long is the movie gonna be exactly?
2 fucking hours.
Another message. I just got a message from John Watts. Holy shit. Now, he directed the Spider-Man MCU movies. You know, all the homie ones.
Yeah.
Anyway, the director said his movies are still fucking garbage, though.
This guy's a piece of shit, dude. Jesus Christ. This guy is given, like, everything on a golden platter. You get $120,000, and an MCU director of Spider-Man is, like, reaching out. And what does he do? Just fucking pisses in a cup.
Andrew Garfield also said, like, hey, this looks pretty cool. You guys are doing some good works. Good works. Motherfuckers really complaining about the cast being white as if that wasn't the entire point.
What?
When I watched the movie, because I had to get a refresher on these characters, I watched the movie. I was like, oh, okay, this movie. He casted specifically white. That's it. You don't have to go one way or another, but like saying, I wanted this my race. Specifically.
Yeah, like, I mean, I understand if they want to say, like, yeah, we cast white actors for white characters from the comics, like, okay.
Yeah.
But don't say that's the whole point. Like, what? So you're making a point?
The whole point.
There's a point? There should never be a point in casting someone for being white. That's not good. That's not there's no good, unless, you know, I don't know.
I thought the point of Spider-Man was anyone could be under the hood. Literally anyone.
Yeah, that's what Stan Lee said. He's like, anyone could be under the mask. But so long as they're white, because that's the point. Because that's the point, Stan Lee says.
And so a lot of the VFX artists left this because of this shit. And other stuff from the other actors, like Warden Wayne, the main guy who plays Spider-Man. I commented, y'all ever make good and funny memes just to flex on the blurred vision N-words? And he got mad. Although N-words look like he bombed shit for fun.
What? Okay, look, I knew I knew, I knew that the director and the actor for Spider-Man said the N-word. That's as much as I knew. That was like, that's as far as I thought it went. I didn't know that these guys were fucking like, I don't even know how to describe them. Jesus Christ, why would you, how did they have this movie come out? Now I understand now. What the fuck? How did they have this movie come out?
The VFX was done by Max Arnhammer. The VFX shot looked amazing. That's not what the director did. The director just paid a guy and said, "Can you make cool shit?" And he's like, "Yeah, that's great." Because most of the movie is not that at all. Just a bunch of standing around, eye-level shots. Not even like crane shots. You know, where the camera's pointed down or anything. Not that.
This is gonna be a difficult fucking review because it's so boring. It drags on so much that like I only remember it as if like it's a slideshow, like Memento. I can only remember the bits and pieces where it's like someone got punched or like the kid's fucking like, you know, I got cancer, isn't it? Like I can only remember those scenes.
He said it like that specifically.
He did.
Yeah,
that was a soundbite. Yeah, I got cancer, Shane.
Yeah, Spider-Man.
Yeah, he had a fucking he had the hat and suit on at the time again.
If we start from the casting choices, when I first saw Warden Wayne as Spider-Man, I was like, he looks more like a Flash Thompson than the actor they got for Flash Thompson.
Yeah, he just immediately he just has like that douchebag resting face.
He had that the whole film. The whole film, he was like, sad, angry. Even when Gwen Stacy was alive, he was all like, brooding, sadness.
Yeah, he looks less like the guy that would be shoved into lockers and more like the guy that would be doing it.
And so at the beginning of the film, I was watching it with a friend, and I was like, hey, I think Gwen's gonna die. I think she's gonna die. And he's like, what do you mean? And I was like, well, they're really building it up like she's gonna die. And then she died. And throughout the rest of the film, they're like, Peter, you gotta get over Gwen Stacy's death. Don't you remember she's
Gwen
dead?
Stacy, that bitch who died? Get over it. That girl that you loved. That girl that you loved so much. Well, they loved each other, they talked and walked.
It was hard for me to tell originally if it was like, all right, are they in college? Are they in high school?
Right, because like when they fucking just to get into the story, it starts off with like him, Harry, Mary Jane, and Gwen. They're just fucking going out on like a weird date thing, or whatever it was. Yeah, they just sit down. It cuts to them like talking at a dinner table, like, wow, that was a great time. Oh, what? And then they leave, and I think it was right when Peter is like fiddling with a ring behind him, like he's gonna propose to Gwen, where I had to be like, how old are these fucking guys? Because they look like they're 17.
When I first saw the ring, my friend was like, is that a promise ring? Because they're in high school. And it's like,
it can't be. Yeah. I thought it was gonna be like he wanted to be like, hey, this ring means a lot to my family. I just want you to know I love you and all that. It's like, oh, that's cute. Now, like, if he proposed, I would have spit my drink. That I would have had to buy a drink to spit it, but I would.
This is the most well-off Spider-Man I've seen, and I've seen Spider-Man work with Iron Man. He's got very nice shirts.
Chilling. They tried doing like his 70s outfit with the yellow jacket and everything. And it's like it's cool that they did it, but it doesn't work, and they had to have known that.
So Gwen dies, and they keep mentioning how Gwen's dead, and Spider-Man's like, she died. Maybe I don't want to be Spider-Man no more. And it's like, I don't want to be Spider-Man anymore. He's probably killed many other innocent civilians on purpose and on accident. The kid was like, wasn't it in like a newspaper? And they're like, this cancer kid wants to talk to Spider-Man before he dies. And Spider-Man was contemplating it. Then he goes over to the kid, and the kid has like walls of Spider-Man merch.
I pulled up the synopsis earlier.
Yeah.
And it says that he's 20 and that he's been around for 5 years.
He's been okay.
So unless in this universe, like, comic art went through like an accelerated evolution over the last 5 years. I don't know how any of that works.
But no, they're playing the plug and play game. You know, the one where Spider-Man points at your dick when you have the remote, and the kid's
That's
like,
definitely why they got it too.
The kid's like, why'd you let Gwen die?
Oh, you mean that one girl that died over the other people that I'd watched die in millions of instances? That one time is what you're talking about, buddy? I would have pulled on the fucking plug.
He was like a big fan, and he reads all the Daily Bugle articles, and his mom's like, well, he doesn't believe you're a bad guy. He just watches you and likes you. And I'm like, none of those stories ever had any other people killed. Was this literally the first person killed in his career? Gwen Stacy. Really?
That's bad luck. If I were him, I would let like one or two more people slip through the cracks, you know? just just muddy the water a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's not always like Gwen. It could be like Dave from accounting, or like Lisa from that one tower that she jumped off and I just didn't catch her. Like, it doesn't have to be Gwen.
For a lot of this, when my friend and I were watching it, he asked the poignant question, is this symbiote Spider-Man? Because why is he an asshole?
I will say in the comics, Peter has always been an asshole sometimes, like with or without the symbiote, but like he's like mean-spirited. He's not like a douchebag like he's in this movie where he's like, just like a mean motherfucker, you know? This is above and beyond.
And so when he was fighting the Green Goblin, they fought in the exact same like warehouse, in the exact same corner.
I love that scene so much.
They have
Green Goblin's bulbous fucking head. his stupid fucking head.
Yeah, was that supposed to be a mask, or was that supposed to be his face?
I don't know, but like the fucking part of his head that's just like he's like a cone head under there.
Yeah, and I think that was Harry's dad.
It might have been. Dude, he's probably wearing a clan hood under there for all we know. Maybe he really get into character. Or maybe he just refused to take it off on set. I don't know.
And so when they had the flashback scene of the guy who killed Peter's Uncle Ben, the classic Uncle Ben, they had the other flashback where he's fighting the Green Goblin. He said, Green Goblin knew this is where I fought that one guy who killed my dad and everything. And it's like, wait, the Green Goblin knows who you are? What? Oh my god, is that why you killed him?
Yeah, there's a lot. The movie is set up in this way where you have to have like a baseline understanding of where the comics were in the 70s, in this alternate world that takes place in 2023, potentially earlier or later with comics from the 70s, but Spider-Man has only existed for 5 years and I've gone cross-eyed.
Yeah, because when you see the newspapers of actual villains he fought like 20, 30 different villains, and it's like, in a goddamn 5-year time span?
It's a fucking renaissance, dude.
Rhino?
It's the Renaissance, dude. It's the Renaissance.
Imagine beating up 25 different superheroes in the span of 5 years. Like, obviously they come back once in a while, and this is the time that you're gonna say, I'm gonna retire because I killed someone. No, there's too many goddamn villains.
You're way too. If you're dealing with all that shit in 5 years, you were coming out the other end an experienced guy. All right, there's no way you're going in like still acting like it's brand new. You fought for your life every day for 5 years.
Yeah.
No. I feel like the universe of this movie are as if like the Spider-Man comic issues, like each one represents a day. So each time he fucking gets his ass handed to him, it's just another day. No breaks in between.
If it was that, I can believe him being a sad asshole the whole time. Him going like, oh, I gotta do Spider-Man stuff. Awful. This is just shitty. Now Gwen's dead. If Spider-Man fought every single villain in this movie, implied, like 25, 30 or whatever, in that time span, he should be allowed to kill a few of them. You do it for Rhino, then 2 days later is the Green Goblin for a 30th time. You're like, I don't have Batman's one rule.
Yeah, just space it out, just space it out. Like once a month you fight in the Shocker and you accidentally slap his head with the fucking iron bar. He goes
like,
cold and you're like, whoops. Oopsie daisy, I guess that's one of them. And then some fucking blind kid's like tapping his fucking stick around. He's like, Spider-Man, is that you? Why did you let Gwen die? He's like, all right, where's Mysterio? I want to get a little fisticuffs going on here.
Yeah, when he had his fight with Shocker, my favorite part, very in canon for Spider-Man, is when he used the two henchmen to absorb the electric blasts.
They're dead. Their hearts stopped beating.
I was like, that's my friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. He wouldn't just tie them up on like a telephone pole or whatever. No, he'd use them as a shield.
I forgot about the Shocker scene with the fucking dialogue. Because they were trying, obviously they were, they're the fucking big like Iron Kid sucks fans, so they're always like, the first thing they always say is like, Spider-Man doesn't make enough quips. He doesn't make enough quips. So they had him saying all that shit. He's like, oh, you want my autograph? Haha. But the actor says it with so little enthusiasm and like confidence behind it. Like he knows it sounds dumb, and he sounds like when you're the popular kid at like theater clubs, so you're just reading your lines like an asshole. Like, oh, yeah, you want to sign my thing? Yeah. Like fucking god damn it, just say the N-word if it means it'll help you believe yourself. Come on, do it.
Well, Spider-Man, I mean, I may be a bank robber, but I wouldn't say that word.
I just imagine he's just like, oh man, yeah, Mondays, am I right? They're like, hey Spider-Man, what are your thoughts on replacement theory? And his voice just perks up. He's like, well, actually, I do have a lot to say on that one. That one's kind of crazy.
At least for Spider-Man's dialogue, to do some ADR, you'd have to record some room ambience. Like whenever you're on set, you're outside or whatever, you just record like 30 seconds or a minute of silence. Redub whatever you need to redub, because it sounded like he really was speaking through the mask, which is weird because that mask was like a bit hard to hear sometimes.
There's some scenes. I don't know, man. I get distracted by how some scenes his mouth moves when he talks, and at some scenes the mask doesn't move.
Yeah, like when he visited the kid.
Yeah.
Which, I don't care how much your kid likes Spider-Man, okay? I don't care if he's the biggest fan, if he's like a little fan or whatever. That kid's mom going like, yeah, I know he saved the town and everything, but like, maybe you want to stay in the room with him? I mean, he literally is a stranger. Talking to a 5-year-old.
Yeah, he doesn't see it. You know, why didn't you save Gwen Stacy? You want to find out? Yeah, she opens the door, the kid's gone, the window's open.
He has cancer, he has all these... I don't even think he has cancer. I think they said he has a disease.
Yeah, he's terminal. It's terminal illness.
Terminal. Which illness? How long does he have to live? One. He should be... Spider-Man should be here soon. But weirdly enough, another thing that this... another thing, besides racism, I guess, thing that this film shared with Superman Solar was just telling a random civilian your identity and face.
Yeah, I can defend it in this one at least a little bit.
Because the kid's gonna die?
Yeah, and that does happen in the comics. That is...
Yeah.
You keep giving me these softballs that I have to defend, and then I have to pretend like I like the movie with fucking Green Goblin with the brain tumor. He's the real terminal kid, but you don't see Spider-Man stop punching him. He keeps hitting him in his little soft spot, too. I see it.
It's actually canonical that every villain he fought was actually terminal, and the terminal illness made them this way. So Spider-Man is basically just beating up people who need help.
He's a sick fuck. Can we talk about the most controversial scene real quick?
Go on.
Okay, this is a big spoiler, guys.
Yeah.
It's when he's with the kid, the terminal kid.
Yeah.
And the terminal kid wants to go web slinging just to see what it's like, and so Peter attaches his web to his back, and then he does one of his finishers from the Spider-Man PS4 game where he swings him around in a circle. Yeah. Jumps in the air and then slams him as hard as he can into the ground.
That's what he would have wanted.
That scene got me. I'm like, that is not my Spider-Man. He wouldn't do that. He wouldn't throw a terminal kid around in a circle and then slam him on the earth. He would be like, he would at least think about it. He wouldn't do it.
Okay.
Not immediately.
Imagine you're Spider-Man. Imagine you're a superhero, and a terminal kid or whatever, you're talking with him, and he says, "My wish is for you to kill me."
I'm like, God damn, all right, shit. You're gonna have the most creative end. Like, the last thing you're gonna see is gonna be insane. Like, the last thing you see will be something no one else will ever see.
Imagine Spider-Man's in the hospital room. The cancer kid just said that, and he's like, I gotta talk to your parents. And the parents said, he's got 2 days. He's got 2 days to live. If he says he wants to be killed this way, you gotta come this way. Talk to the doctor. What is your medical professional opinion? Man, he's got less than 2 days. It's perfectly fine.
He's got terminal Spider-Man. He's got terminal illness. There's nothing we can do. We might have to amputate. We don't know.
On the news, you see J. Jonah Jameson like, Spider-Man won't even kill a random civilian, a Make-A-Wish kid. He's denying a Make-A-Wish kid.
He starts doing it. It becomes like a popular way of euthanasia. It's just like a state thing now. It's like you can die. They can turn off the plug. They can inject you, or they can have Spider-Man swing you around at Mach 9 and then throw you into the ground. It's a very busy day for Spider-Man.
At that point, I would be scared to be a villain, a Spider-Man. Be like, oh, you know what? I'm not gonna rob banks. If this is what he does to cancer kids, what is he gonna do to me, a guy who murders people? Oh my god.
Here, I'll be Rhino, and you be Spider-Man, and you just shoot your web, alright?
What?
Oh, I got all this one. Oh, no!
Yeah!
No!
Not so friendly anymore, bitch.
He just starts screaming, thinking he's gonna die.
Tearing open his skull. Just...
No!
I got pardons for the president. Great job, Spider-Man.
Sure.
He's like, oh, hey. Yeah, can you imagine?
What other high notes of this movie are we really missing?
Besides the fact that it could have been 50 minutes. Whenever they did have the CGI, like, I was watching that, I was like, oh, that's cool. I can tell where the guy got fired or left, because at moments it looks very realistic, like very nicely made. Like, oh my god, this is like MCU level. And then it cuts to like PS4 graphics, and I was like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah, you can. It's like one of those clips where you see like they like swipe from left to right. You see like the before and after of like shaders or some shit, and they just didn't do that part. Here's how you fix this movie. Here's how you do it. This is JJ's cut. This is the JJ cut.
I like the JJ
cut. Cut the CGI in the beginning. Cut the shocker scene. Cut that all completely. Put that CGI of him swinging around all happy and shit. Put that at the end of the movie. Start when it's just him and Gwen walking. They have the little ring scene. It cuts, intro sequence, she's dead. Then just do nothing else. No Green Goblin shit. Just do the kid scenes. And then as soon as that resolves, when he decides he's like, I'm gonna still be Spider-Man. Then you have those little scenes of him swinging around, and then that's it. You cut all the action shit. You don't need it. Just tell the fucking story of the kid. Call it a day. That's it.
Yeah, because during the end of the movie, which is like when he leaves the terminal kid's place, there's like some nice CGI. They kept having like fade outs, and I was like, oh, is the movie done now? Nope. Like they had him at the gravesite, and I was like, okay, is that the end? No. They have him in his apartments doing the narration, and I was like, oh, is that the end? No. They have the scene where it's in the daytime. He's at like some guy's party or whatever. There were 3 or 4 times at the very end I was like, is it done now? Is it done now? Are we done yet?
I mean, to be fair, the movie was over for me. Like I think around that point, I just stopped. Like I didn't even look at the credits. I was done. I closed it. Went to bed.
Yeah, it was one of those films where you're like, oh, this is a fan film. I can tell because
by the by like the first part of the ending, like the grave scene, they should have just said like in a PlayStation 1 game where it's like, you know, press A to skip cutscene. Just skip through the rest of it. I mean, it's not necessary.
At no point was I like escaping into the reality. This is these actors' first time playing in anything or whatever. This is bland cinematography.
Especially Gwen. Even though she was in it for like 2 seconds, she had like the worst acting of any fucking person there.
I could believe Harry.
Harry was good.
Yeah.
Harry was good. I wanted to say, you were shitting on Harry a second ago about his like, I didn't look like him at all. I'm like, well, Harry was like the most fucking entertaining part of this film. He had, I mean, to be fair, he had it easy. You just had to be like, you know, Harry. You just gotta be a stupid dumbass, and that's easy. But I forget if it's where it came from. But I thought there was like something that came out saying like the only reason they hired the actresses for Gwen and Mary Jane is because they thought they were hot.
I'm just gonna believe that.
I think that exists. I
just believe it.
I think they were like, yeah, we you know, they're hot, you know. Trying to get a chance with them, I guess.
Yeah, no. The director doesn't have a Twitter account. It got suspended after everything. And quite literally, if you type in "racist Spider-Man" on Twitter, not Twitter, yeah, Twitter, "racist Spider-Man" on Twitter or Google, his film shows up. His face shows up. The actor's face shows up. This is something hard to get over.
He is going to be immortalized as the racist Spider-Man. Yeah. There's no coming back. There's nothing he can do. The only way you could do it is if you made another fucking $100,000 Spider-Man special and somehow made it the best Spider-Man thing ever. But you're not going to be able to do anything anymore with this IP. You're never touching Spider-Man again. It's over. This was it.
I didn't hear anything bad about Harry's actor, so I guess he's fine.
Then I feel bad for him. Yeah, good for him. We need a Harry Osborn movie. We need that.
You know what? Someone else needs to make a Spider-Man fan film where Sean Wythe replays his character as like the Green Goblin's son, and he finds out that Spider-Man is racist and killed his dad, and just kills him.
I would love a cut of the movie where it's just like.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Like an alternate universe where Harry Osborn is like just chilling and he finds out in the news. It's like Spider-Man is found to be racist. He sent these awkward text messages on Instagram, and it's just like the real screenshots.
Hire the VFX people that left. Hire all the people that quit because of the racism. Hire the actors that are not racist, and just make it from the Green Goblin's son's perspective. And then he just murders Spider-Man. It's like, yeah,
hell yeah,
yeah,
let's do it. Hell yeah, let's do it. We can do it, guys. Donate in the link below. We'll do it. We'll do it for free. Let's stop talking about this fucking movie, man. I don't want to think about this.
Yeah, we got some questions. We'll end it on
let's ask
some nice questions.
What's up, guys? How we doing? What's on the chopping block?
Jomanko2410 says, "What's your favorite Spider-Man suit?"
The racist one.
For my favorite Spider-Man suit, I'll say the Amazing Spider-Man. I like the suit.
Yeah, I guess for me, I'm a Romita Senior. Comics.
The senior comics?
John Romita Sr. Yeah, he had a good version of that.
Very nice.
Classic.
Lonely Homegirl, what's the perfect sequel to you? Like, what a sequel of a film of anything do you think better than the original in every way? Or at the very least, a sequel that gets a lot right that you enjoy. What do you think?
Shrek 2.
Go on.
Shrek 2. That's my answer.
That is a very good answer, one would say. I'm still going to go with Terminator 2. Really like Terminator 1, but they didn't have the budget yet for, like, very, very cool special effects. You know, like the CGI, liquid metal, all that shit. And so the second one where it's like, oh my god, it's the same Arnold guy, but he's a good guy now. Love that shit. Love all that. Generic content. Loved it. So I was asking about Spiderman-Lotus, and they say they loved it. The background doesn't lend it many good points, but the story was deep and emotional, and I wish we got more Gwen and Green Goblin. But the swinging scenes are great, and I love the Timmy scenes. Timmy?
I think that's the kid.
Oh, okay. I thought he
I'm gonna
mentioned
tell you right
Peter
now.
Parker's name.
Buddy, I'm talking to you, the guy that commented it right now.
Yeah.
That kid's dead.
Oh my God, he's dead.
And he died
God.
because of you.
Yeah. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
I'm waving. Are you waving? Are you waving? Okay, cool. We're waving. Goodbye.